What do you think you're good at when you speak English?
I think I'm good at making stories in English.
Oh, really? You like to tell stories?
So that's the end of the story.
Wow, that's a very elaborate story. Did you just make that up?
Yes.
Wow, you have a great imagination. Do you write down your stories? Hello,
Hello.
I'm Linda.
Okay. Where are you from? Um,
What is your name?
my name is Havisha, ma'am. Where are you from?
I'm from the United States, but I live in Mexico City, Mexico.
Okay.
And what about you?
I live in the southern part of southern part of India.
Okay. India's a big country, so I only know Mumbai and Kerala.
Okay.
And what grade are you in?
I'm in sixth grade.
Okay. And how long have you been speaking English?
I've been speaking English since I've learned a few words.
Okay. So have you been learning your entire life?
Means yeah, I've been learning English since I learned a bit words. I never thought that.
Okay. So you've been speaking for what are you, 13, 14, 15?
I'm 11 years old.
Okay. So you've been speaking English for 11 years. And why are you on Cambly? What is your goal for talking with tutors?
So that I can improve my English.
Okay. What do you think you're good at when you speak English?
I think I'm good at making stories in English.
Oh, really? You like to tell stories?
Yes.
Do you have the same characters when you tell stories, or do you pick different characters each time?
I pick different characters.
Okay. Do you have a favorite type of storyline?
Yes, I like children's stories.
Okay. Why don't you tell me one of your stories?
Right? Any story.
Any story.
Okay. So once there was an old man who lived in a dense forest. Every day he would go for cutting trees. So one day, what happened while he was cutting trees, he cut a log. As he cut the a log from the something from the tree, he noticed that the bird was sitting on the tree. So he avoided cutting that tree. But there was another per- person who cut trees in the forest. So he also went, but he cutted that tree, and the bird fell down with her, her nest broken down. So the bird was a magical bird. She could speak. That's all she had the power of. So she just cried and told and cursed the man that he would lose his axe. So he lost his axe and he went in search of his axe. So while going, he went to a place where it was very cold and where it was very cold, and he had not even worn a little bit of I mean some warm clothes. He wore summer clothes, so he was very chilly while he was still. Once a storm came and he was buried under the snow.
Wow. That's not the end, is it?
No,
I was like, don't leave me in suspense. So what happens after he was buried in the snow?
a policeman came to help him. With the help of a dog, he found him out again. The man went in his search. Then he came to a place which was very hot. He had the correct clothes for a very heaty place, so he survived there. But it was a drought, so he could not have water. But yes, he survived and went further. Then, when he went further, he saw a beautiful palace where he saw five doors, and in each door a number was written, a secret number was written, which he could not identify. The first row had a jumbled word, which was mm, which was tiger in tiger me in. That was a jumbled word which meant tiger in me. Means inside the door there was a tiger ready to eat him. That he could not rearrange that form. So he just opened the third door. The third door had nothing, just a very dark room, and in the dark room, he saw a bunch of clothes. So he wore the clothes and went went where while he was going back front to the door as he found it boring. While he was going, the place was never ending. He was just going, 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 going. The place never ended. A week, 2 weeks or 2 months were over. The place was not ending. He was going on, going on, going on. The place was not ending. But at last, the place did not end. But yes, he found just a small ball. That was only the thing in the whole place. So he just picked it up, and without using it, he simply took it and away. And the ball could speak. The ball told, "Go, press me." So he pressed him, and a door opened. And then he again came out of the tunnel, and then he went in the first door gate where tigers were there. He smartly escaped from the tigers, and when in the forest he saw a river flowing. He did not know that the river was too deep for him to go, but he went. While he went, he was drowned, and while he was drowning, he saw again a bird. Again,
Was
he
it
saw,
this? Was it the same bird?
yes,
Okay.
it was the same bird who had built its nest in another tree. He he was he somehow he holded a branch of the tree because the tree was bending down. So he holded a branch of the tree and went, and he got saved from the fast flowing river.
Okay.
Again, he saw the tree. He was hungry, so he wanted wood. Wanted wood for fire and to cook food. Again, but he did not have an axe. So he saw a person, the same person who had let the bird survive, did not cut its the log. So that person that person was cutting the trees in the same place. He
Mm-hmm.
met them and asked for his axe, but the person didn't. But the person told, "Okay, you can have my axe." So he gave his axe and he started to cut that tree down. But he did not repeat the same mistake. He did not cut the. He cut it all the trees, all the branches, but he did not cut. But this time he cut it the branches, not the whole tree off.
Okay.
He did not repeat the same mistake, so the bird just did not say anything. She just, without saying, she took her curse back, and he was about to he would get his axe sometime, but it was a long way. After that, the person who was kind to the bird, so after some time, the person who became kind to who was kind to the bird, he told to the person to return his axe. The person returned his axe, but then, as everything which he touched became of gold. So the person who was kind to the bird became jealous of him because he touched everything, but it became of gold. So he wanted to steal that power. So one day he peeped in his house and saw that he was in his hand. It was nothing. It was just an old ball was in his pocket. So he
Mm-hmm.
took the ball from him sneakily and took it in his pocket. everything he touched also became gold. He wanted to try it off. So he just while having he just touched himself without caring. Just while uh, he had to clap for somebody, so he touched his hand, both his hands, and he all himself became gold, and so he accomplished it. So that's the end of the story.
Wow, that's a very elaborate story. Did you just make that up?
Yes.
Wow, you have a great imagination. Do you write down your stories?
No, I don't.
No, it's just all in your memory.
Eh,
That's pretty impressive. Um, I like all the details you gave, and you used my favorite word you used was the dense forest. Instinctively, I saw all the trees and it was green. So that word was so descriptive, I could picture the forest. Um, when you said the nest broke down, nests necessarily don't break down, they fall down, right? Or they're knocked down. Like your car would break down, right? That would break down because it's a part that's usually broken. Nests usually would break apart. Does that make sense?
but the sticks used to make the next could also have been separated.
Hmm. But it still would be they were broken, not broke down. So just for future reference. And then the axe, cold place. I felt so sorry for this guy because he had summer clothes on and he was in snow, probably freezing. He probably had frostbite. Do you know what frostbite is?
Very cold.
Where your fingers get numb and purple, and they are it's like almost like a burn, like your hands feel like they're on fire because they're so cold. So frostbite. And because India, it doesn't snow, right?
In Ladakh or some places, there is snow.
In the north part?
Yes.
Okay. But where you're at, it's really hot.
Okay. The place where I'm living in, it's a bit rainy and pleasant weather.
Okay. So is it really green?
Yeah, it is green.
Beautiful. I love seeing the green weather or the greenery because of all the rain. What else did you say? When the man was rescued by the police and the dog, do you know of Saint Bernards? Those dogs that rescue. Have you heard of those?
I have not heard a particular um, breed of dogs, but I have heard that dogs helping in rescue in snow and all. So I
Wonderful. That's great. That's a great reference. And then I love when you said the words were jumbled, because then I could picture like a bunch of words just all mixed up. And I was wondering when you told me there was it a lion or a tiger? I forget which one.
tiger.
Tiger. I was like, ooh, what's going to happen with the tiger? I was on the edge of my seat waiting to hear what happened next. Heaty. You said it was heaty? It was like hot? Did you say? Do you remember?
Uh, mm, Maybe I told that was it.
Okay. Heaty. I don't believe heaty's a word, but I like it. It's a very, when we have like slang words that we kind of make up in languages, that's what it sounded like to me. I was like, I could visualize something really warm, and I could almost feel like he was sweaty, like he was so hot. I think that's it. It was a really great story, and it was nice to meet you. Thank you for entertaining me. Is there anything you have any questions or you would like to ask in the last 20 seconds?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, what made you join on Clapping? On Cambly, sorry.
I lost my job due to COVID and I wanted to move to a foreign country and I wanted to, in some way help and teach people. So I found Cambly.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
My dear friend,